word called foundation. Fund, Fundations. That's part of the science of reading in grades K to 2. There's a foundations reading block every day, at least 30 minutes in K to 2 called Foundations. It's backed up by a program called Orton Gillingham, and it's also backed up by a protocol called Wilson Learning. So three programs for teaching phonics in those grades. This phonics is the antidote to dyslexia. Foundations, Wilson Learning, and Orton Gillingham. In 3 through 5, we just purchased a new curriculum called Wonders, Wonders. Wonders has a component of phonics. So you should see this year, if you're a young child, their phonics instruction in Wilson Reading and Orton Gillingham, and a daily block of foundation, 3 through 5, which is brand new, so we're just doing it, is something called Wonders. If it's not happening, you need to let me know, and then we'll go back to the
okay, because she has an IEP, and they wouldn't even say that she's dyslexic. And the concern for me is, like, in order to get the dyslexia diagnosis,
you've got to be half of your, you described the 1 to 3rd grade, you have to be 50% described.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
you said it a little differently, but you know your law there.
Yeah, you have to pay for an outside test, and that's money. And I remember you guys had somebody who's been trained.
Yeah, we've trained 30 people in this.
But like, and I'm glad for the training. And I don't want to nitpick, but there's like training and actual like
implementation are 2 different things.
Yes, actual service hours.
It's like I sit in the ivory tower, and what I say is sometimes different than what gets implemented.
Exactly.
I get it. I get that. You're right. You're 100% right. I think I'm doing something, but when it gets to the school, it ain't happening.
Well,
it happens all the time.
Such a disconnect.
There is.
The power sending it down by the time it hits people. This is regular people.
Right.
So I hearing that.
Now take it.
Implemented this, but they saying
he didn't. It never hit him or his child.
No, they offered us somebody who can tutor her after school, and they're like, she's recently certified, and I'm like, okay, but what hours have you done? She was like, I took the class online. I'm like,
well,
I'm like, there's no, like, do you have experience laying out a curriculum?
Yeah, what I would say to that is, she's right, and I'm going to defend her or him because we just started. We had nobody. We trained 28 people. Now we got to get her to work. So you're not wrong, but we had to start somewhere. So last thing I want to mention, I want to summarize, and then you can ask me questions. I got to leave at some point here. The food is here, Monique. Bob, you don't put somebody's house without holding food. I'm trying to teach you. Let me just talk about the last topic I had. There's a lot of conversation around teaching Black history. Yeah, that's a really big topic, right? Let me tell you that when I think something is wrong, I'll say it. When I think something is right, I'll say it. I'll back to you on that teacher. We don't do a good job teaching Black history. I'm going to say it. We don't do a good job of it. It's embedded in the curriculums, but we don't do a good job. And some kids don't know it. Don't even know what they're being taught. We don't do. I'm not going to lie to you. We don't do a good job. We just don't. Why is that? Because I haven't paid enough attention to it. I want to be honest with you. I haven't paid enough attention to it, and I haven't forced it, and I haven't monitored it. I'm not going to argue with you. We have to do a better job of it. But let me say this about it, to defend myself in one degree. You can't just rely on the school to get everything.
Yeah.
So I can do that.
That's why I was thinking.
I need to do a better job of structuring. I own that.
Right.
But if you think we're going to teach all the Black history that you want in those hours in school, you're never going to be satisfied. You are not going to be satisfied. And what I would say is, well, how does your church do with that? How do your parents do with that? How are you doing with that? Now, I own the fact that we got to do a better job. I own it. But I'm not going to take sole responsibility.
We need
No,
to.
I think Black history first
We need to.
needs to be taught from, well, it's like this, I'm Muslim, right? You're not gonna let me teach your kids Christianity
Absolutely not.
So another lapse is we're begging the schools to teach our kids something when, like you said, the teachers don't look like us. Teach us our history, right? You just can't.
Well,
It must
it doesn't come,
It doesn't come from us. It has to come from us. So, you know, if you can't add too much to the curriculum, maybe we can add another program that could be put on by us that would allow us to be able to teach the kids without taking away from the basic learning that our kids need. Because our kids need to be able to read and write more than they need to know about the slave trade. I mean, people might not want to say that, but it's real. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, I know, it's true.
I'm just saying.
I love Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks.
Maybe we.
But that's all they know.
That's not black history.
No, that's all they know.
Extracurricular that might be able to allow, let's say it was high school kids, maybe extracurricular that might be able to make them be able to take this black history course that we put on that might be able to give them some credits. That might be able to get them signed by.
You can do it.
You know, black people built America. Without us, it would not be what it is today. I'm
They
sorry.
can't teach
Oh, they
that.
don't
No, but their kids don't know that.
So let me ask you something. So once again, right, I believe it's our job to teach ours, right?
Yeah.
But let me ask you something. Do you believe, this is a question to you, do you believe that our children and other people, children of race, meaning white folks, whatever, we learn differently?
Absolutely.
We learn differently. So once again, so if we learn differently, right, is the curriculum, right, that y'all providing for us, is it any good for us if we even learn differently?
Well, I think it's good. I just think we don't do
How it's
enough.
implemented.
I don't think we do enough variety of implementation.
Right.
I agree with that. We don't do enough variety of implementation, so I agree with you.
That being like.
Got you. So that's the problem right there. We putting our children in a system
Right.
that's
Get it or don't. And if you don't get it my way, you don't get it.
right. But
I agree with that to a
First,
degree.
I got in school, right?
Gotcha.
Our classrooms is a little too big, our teachers is overloaded, and like you said, once the kids fall behind, they fall behind, and that's something that you can worry about. The lower grades, the first couple grades, needs to have more of a focus, because this is when you get your ground to your sounds. I still don't know sounds, I just know what that's about. You know what this gentleman's talking about.
So I have a statement, because my question to the board would be like, is there finances and resources enough to have efficient after-school activities across Niagara Falls as a whole? I think about Buffalo, they have these Saturday academies, where what Saturday Academy does is, I know what you're missing throughout the week. It's not as personal, but on Saturday, you can come and laugh, have a good time, but you can also get that information.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you offer a platform that allows us to get, maybe it's not necessarily, we gotta be certified teachers, but we have curriculum, we have a program, and we can implement it.
He offered that, he offered the public schools to us.
Be open.
Utilize
Be open.
Be open to utilize what you want to create.
You're down to something, though. I want to tell you something in the works, because you mentioned something that's in the works. I got you. I'm not gonna forget you. I wanted to mention something that's in the works that you brought up. Right there, you want to hear what I talk about. This are public schools in Buffalo. What I have two things, two resolutions. One, I am going to give you a comprehensive list of all of the after-school programs, where they are and what they are.
Mhm.
Now, with that list, what you should do with it is not only share it, but you should say you're missing something.
Right.
And if you're missing something, you gotta let me know what we're missing, okay? So I'm gonna give you the comprehensive, but you all have to, why aren't you doing, I don't know what, then? Now, to your point, sir, because you make a really good point, I am working with, Say Yes Buffalo.
Yes, absolutely.
You're referring to Say Yes.
Yes.
I think I'm very close to having Say Yes come to Niagara Falls, to starting Say Yes Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
And there are 4, they have, Say Yes Buffalo has 16 components.
Mm-hmm.
I only want 4 of them.
Gotcha.
Leslie Nickerson with them?
No. I'm dealing with David, Russ,
Yep.
and a whole different group of people.
Yeah.
I've met with their board, and I've met with their staff, and I don't know all their staff members. But I know Leslie. I don't think she is.
She left, no, she.
Yeah,
I was so not, I want to say it was safe.
It might be. I know Leslie, but
So-
I'm not sure. Let me finish.
Go
Let me
ahead.
tell you the 4 programs that I want out of it. Number 1 is Saturday Academy.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we get, so we would open up schools for formal Saturday Academy, where your group could come in and do what you guys do. Saturday Academy is 1. Number 2 we're looking for is Boys of Color.
Mm-hmm.
Boys of Color.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that this is this conversation. Number 3, and we've started this, there's more apprenticeships. Because one of my other saws is, and I know we're doing this, every student in that school is not going to college, nor should they. We've got to get that notion out of people's head. The state education department hasn't gotten it out of their head. But everybody is not designed to go to college. My 3 kids were, my 2 nephews weren't. They tried it, dropped out after 10 weeks. They're building houses in South Carolina, making good money. And the third is, to counterbalance that, is last money in college tuition. Meaning that you get all your Pell, your TAB, all those other forms, and then whatever money you don't have, we put towards your college tuition for free. So, and my next meeting with David is next Friday. David Rust is the director. I have a list of philanthropic organizations and foundations that I think will contribute, because all this is free. This isn't going to come from the taxpayers. I don't want to name the foundations, but we have one foundation, a big one that you have heard of, that will fund these things. Saturday academies, I believe in. Boys in Color, which is obvious. Apprenticeships, even though I think we're doing some apprenticeships. And I call it last money in college. You go through all your TAP, Pell, and then there's still money you gotta pay. Because it's not free to buy whatever, books or fees. Or fees. Then you put the last money, then we put the last money in. If you go to a Say Yes college, you gotta go to one of the Say Yes colleges. There's about 30 or 40 of them. If you don't wanna go there, you're on your own. And that is not just for those of economic needs, that is for everybody. So, because we have a lot of people with economic needs, but that is for everybody.
When you,
He is gonna, go ahead.
when you have your meeting with David, ask him also for us to be instructors or to help. What do we have to do? Because I do know that we volunteer, but there is requirements and certifications that they're not costly, but you got to just do the paperwork so that if the School of Thought wants to come in and teach a course, we're certified so that we can.
Yeah, I gotta find out.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten that deep into
Yeah, I worked in Buffalo as a fitness instructor with Say Yes.
So I went to a Saturday camp.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch it. And it was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It was I can't think of the school it was at, but they had about 800 people. But we could do that after.
Absolutely.
We could open that up. And the people there were some teachers, some secretaries taking, but the rest of the rooms were being run by
Absolutely.
groups.
Absolutely.
And parents.
Yep.
So I'm very hopeful that that's a little bit down the line, folks. But to your question, I'm
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so you don't throw your dish in. Hey,
Over the years, I did a lot of time in prison. And the last time I went to prison, I was, the police set me up. And I ended up doing 50 months in prison. And I became pretty goddamn good. And I believe that.
you became what?
Pretty goddamn good. Pretty good.
With law.
Oh, okay.
Litigating, petitioning to the courts. Going to petitioning to the courts with my First Amendment right peacefully. And I became pretty good at it. And there's a lot of people here that's pretty good with the law. And there's a lot of a lot of wasted talent here. It's just like it's like something like they want to do better, but they just can't, and they're dangerous too. Some of them, and they would be so much more productive to our community if they were to take their frustrations and all the anger that they got in the world and all the injustice, and they put it into the law, and they learn how to petition to the courts and do motions. Maybe we could create some baby geniuses here.
Good. I'll let you go, then I want to summarize 5 takeaways. Go ahead.
So I have a he's going for the 11th grade. So how do I not get the same guidance counselor? Because this man is not guiding.
You and I.
It's the same one, Mark.
You and I are.
Mark, it's the
It's
same
a
one.
personal issue.
You and I.
No, it's not personal.
No, it's better not.
No, I heard 4 people say that the same guy.
I don't.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta talk about him.
Later,
Privately.
privately.
Oh, that's why they're not.
Yeah, I don't want that. We don't want the specific names.
Oh, no, we're not.
Where is Mr. McClure?
You could go in the office and
Hey.
get any of them. It's not no name. All of them.
Okay.
I don't know, I was wondering, that was my guidance counselor, and I get in trouble, he got me out of ISR back into the class with a new mindset.
He's a liar.
But he's still giving out,
He's still giving out
advice.
advice.
That was my They have to be stopped. That has to be
Yeah.
Then the
stopped.
guidance counselors, you might have to come from outside
They have to
because
be
so
stopped.
many years.
Because my sister, you know, Loretta, she works for Victor, it was her daughter, but they didn't really, well, I'm saying it,
But
they
I'm not
didn't.
gonna talk.
No, not now.
I got
Oh,
five
give us
things.
five things.
I got five things. And let me just say something. Sometimes if you take away too many things, it's hard to come up. Here are my five takeaways. I'm going to provide you with a comprehensive list of after-school programs that currently exist, location, time, and what their substances are. You're going to then go back and say, well, how come you don't, I'm making this up, how come you don't have karate or whatever, right? I'm just making it up. That's number one. Takeaway number two, I heard over here, was that we are going to move to phone or video conferencing for parent-teacher conferences. Takeaway three, if you have a program that you want to use after school and use the building, with proper paperwork, you can. Takeaway four, I am hearing that I have some agreement on suspension mediation. I'm not going to go into whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And takeaway five is that we are going to look for off-site schooling, meaning, you know what we're talking about. Those, that's going to take some work, but if we leave here with five takeaways, then we'll get a productive outcome.
Our truant officers myself.
I heard you, yeah, I heard you. I didn't write that down.
Write that down, so we know. Start here.
Definitely get them to go to school.
Yeah.
But then, I'm real, right, people that live in prison is really good, will fill that role because they are going, if they don't get through that school, the way the life's set up, they're gonna be in prison. We need that. So we gotta form that though. We're gonna come on. How many truant officers is it for the school? 4? That's good.
Why? But it's only Monique here going there.
Kids don't come to school. I'll be soon. That's why you want to go to school. I wish I got a job. If I had a job, I'd be like, no, put your public school yet.
So give me a break.
Then we thank you for coming. Actually, to come out, offer y'all high us, as most people in this come down to the actual people in here, hold on, what's going on?
Well, the point is I gotta come back, so I can't.
Oh, no, yeah.
But we gotta come back for.
This is my thing, when I reached out to you, was I wanted to connect the dots between you, or you as a physician, and the people. I might not be here necessarily at the next meeting, y'all know I got ADHD, it was hard for me to come down through this
You
one.
did pretty well.
But I wanna connect y'all.
Dude, can I, like, do I have to have Monique here, or can I fire her? Not easy. You know how much trouble she
For the
gets?
pizza?
Yeah, you're welcome. You know,
Anything you wanna say, hold up, Trent, anything? Trent ain't say nothing, you gotta say something, Trent gotta say something. He's
My thing
actually, he's
was-
actually the superintendent of the entrepreneur school.
I heard that.
He
We
just
gotta,
got.
I just figure out, I know it's, fire federal, we gotta try to figure out something to incentivize the parents to get more engaged, actively engaged in
That's
the
one
kids'
of the things that
education.
has to come
One
from
thing
our
though,
city.
listen to this, right? We saying it's up to the parents to educate, but we're, a lot of times we're dealing with uneducated parents.
Exactly.
So we, I don't know what it is or what, we gotta, maybe if it's a GED program in the school directly for parents or let them learn with their kids, but we gotta figure out something to get them actively involved.
They don't care. They think they got a babysitter. They think they
Well,
got a
that
babysitter.
is one complaint teachers make, is like,
Yeah, the parents have to be-
The parents have to be-
bring me a huge mess.
But because
Treat me
listen
like
to
a
this.
laundromat.
But
Here's
you
this
gotta-
kid who's underfed, got a million things going on, take him, I need somebody to watch him from 9 to 3 so I can go work.
It's that, but it's also poverty. Like, I gotta work.
Hold it, hold it.
But listen to this.
One thing I wanna do.
Don't be saying at the end of the day, especially with black parents, how many of you guys been to school board meetings? But the vast majority don't. We try to have as a low hanging fruit or something. Just one step, easy. Let's increase attendance at school board meetings. It's difficult.
It is.
Just sitting here listening to you, here's how you put two and two together. Parents would love their kids to be in something like the Saturday Academy, right? Gets them out the house, learn something. Great, you want your kid in the Saturday Academy? You have to go through a one-day course yourself.
That's why I say, incentivize don't always mean you get cash. You get something. The best incentive is to engage in your children's education and see them succeed.
Exactly.
But
So they
give
learn
them,
something
but
too.
of something else with it, you know what I'm saying?
And as parents, we have to join the parent group meeting.
Yeah.
They have them at every school.
Right, that is true.
And the next one at National High School is September 8th. You're all gonna be there.
Oh, right, yeah, yeah.
Right? Good. You have to be.
Hi, family. It's your boy Big Frank, Fire 716 Radio. We're here at the Entrepreneur School of Thought with the Niagara Falls Superintendent. Feel free to go back and rewatch the video. I'm gonna get got card to him. Information that he's giving out, I'm gonna get as well. Holla at y'all. Peace, love, soul. Boom! I holla at y'all.